Hello, team. My name's Edgar Wilson, Dynamics 365 Technical Specialist. And today I wanted to present to you a call center demonstration that we've presented to a few customers that has really resonated. And what it encompasses is Unified Service Desk, which you can think of as our agent portal from a call center perspective to actually access Dynamics 365, create cases, as well as schedule appointments if needed, leveraging our field service schedule board. And it also possesses some ancillary aspects of Dynamics 365, including voice of the customer, our embedded survey engine, as well as marketing list functionality and customer insights, which will show from an agent perspective. So when those surveys come back, we can actually discern how our customer service agents are performing. So all of this embedded allowed us to give a very powerful demonstration. So with no further ado, I'll go ahead and show you what this looks like. Okay, so first things first, we wanted to take you through a high-level overview of the journey you can expect within this demonstration. So on the far left, you can see Annie Wilson, who in this case is our patient. We'll go through her Health 360 record so you can see all of the specifics in a 360-degree view of everything Annie Wilson. She will then contact the call center, which in this case, William Gates III is going to take a step back and hop into a call center for us. And we'll see Annie's Health 360 record from an agent view within Unified Service Desk. And we'll go through the process of actually addressing the issue she's calling in for, which in this case is to schedule an appointment with Dr. Abram. So we'll be able to see Dr. Abram's availability, his skills. You know, we don't want a cardiologist performing colonoscopies. That would be bad. So we'll go through and schedule that out. And then we'll address any other issues that Annie has, and then we'll present to her a survey that she'll then fill out, and then we'll bring that survey information into Dynamics 365 and show what that will look like all up, as well as on an individual agent case-by-case basis. So let's go ahead and hop in. All right, so here we are within Annie Wilson's Health 360 record. And the first thing you'll likely notice is the fact that up here in the top left corner, we've got some emoticons that convey some high level specifics around this particular patient, which you can see here. Looks like she has a high appointment no-show rate, so we might want to keep that in mind for our scenario. Some education specifics here. I can see that she's on a chronic care plan for diabetes prevention, as well as a wellness care plan for breast cancer prevention. So there are quite a few of these emoticons that will appear based on specifics around the patient. And this is a aspect of the Health 360 platform that TriBridge possesses. So I've actually embedded that here into my Dynamics 365 solution. Here we've embedded a Power BI dashboard that gives us some high-level overview information. Here I can see a patient care score, maybe based on her the number of cases she has or her care plan progress, which you can also see here. And then also maybe I want to see the closest location to this particular patient when I'm actually going out to schedule. So this is really to illustrate the powerful metrics that can be driven in a contextualized fashion for Annie Wilson as we go through addressing her issue. And here we also have a patient timeline. So I can see, you know, here that she might have missed an appointment, that she missed an annual checkup. Here she had a colonoscopy appointment, as well as a annual checkup here on November 30th. So a nice, concise way to be able to see the patient journey from end to end and see some specifics around information right at the tip of your fingertips when you hop into her record. So here you can see some just basic information on her contact info, any marketing lists she's a part of. Here in this social pane, this shows some very similar information to what you might have seen in that timeline, but I could also write some notes here on her patient record. I can also post to Yammer in the context of Annie's record here if need be, as well as any system posts which show me any cases that have been closed. or anything of that nature. Here I can see information around Annie's family and friends. So perhaps if I needed to contact them, I could do that directly from here. Some patient details. As we scroll down, address information, stressor, allergies, and there's a plethora of information that is possessed within the Health 360 core. This is kind of high level and specific to what a call center user might need to see. I can also see here that she has some care plan specific. So this is another function of the Health 360 platform that we can actually create a personalized care plan, or her physician can, and we can follow that directly within her record. And also, one thing we wanted to cover off on is the fact that you do have a direct integration with EMRs. So in this case, it's Epic. So we could gather her information directly from Epic. And one thing that we'll also kind of illustrate is the fact that we're scheduling within field service, but that can easily be integrated to Epic or any other EMR or scheduling system that a customer has. So now we're going to go ahead and hop into our scenario. So we can see here that since Annie has a high appointment no-show rate, she might have been sent an email to contact customer support so that we can address that. So now let's transition over to William Gates III and see it from his view within Unified Service Desk, our agent portal. Okay, so here we are within Unified Service Desk for Dynamics 365. And to kind of set the stage for what Unified Service Desk is, it's a call center specific solution that allows the call center agent to access Dynamics 365 through this Unified Service Desk layer that's specific to call centers. So it extends the functionality of the browser-based version of Dynamics to allow users to do things like gather information outside from ancillary systems. So for instance, if I'm within the context of addressing an issue for a patient, I could actually pop over to the Epic system directly within Unified Service Desk without ever having to leave or browse to another system directly within the confines of USD. So very powerful, and also a key differentiator between our services, or solution rather, and our competitor solution. Okay, so back to the scenario. I'm William Gates III, call center agent slash billionaire philanthropist, and I'm on my customer care alerts dashboard. So as you can see here, I have some alerts from patients that have come up here. So I can see Clyde Jones has a potential scheduling conflict. Barbara might have missed some appointments. Our scenarios centered around Annie Wilson. I can see here that she may not be adhering to her health plan. So any patient that I've dealt with or will be dealing with in the future, I can actually configure the system to send alerts out so that they're right here in front of me when I hop into my dashboard. Also, here in the top right, you can see that we have a Power BI metric that's showing me some specifics around patients and where my progress is for the day. So I can see here I have 148 patients in my care, 6 new intake patients, and perhaps I started the day with 20 tasks and now I'm down to 10. So very nice and powerful information to have directly here when I hop in this dashboard. And also, another means to communicate with, say, providers for our patients or anyone within our organization is Yammer. So in this case, you can see here that I've posted a document for Dr. Randy Travis to see Matt Ryan's test results. He's locked and loaded and ready to get back to the Super Bowl, and we're going to win this time, 28-3. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to overcome Atlanta. So here you can see, that we have the ability to like or reply, very similar to any other social media platform, directly here within Yammer. So a lot of our competitors will leverage their organizational social media platform. So why not leverage ours to kind of illustrate the fact that, we can also leverage Yammer to allow for call center agents, providers, nurses, everyone to communicate amongst each other through Yammer. So Here we'll go ahead and hop back into the scenario. Annie, as you remember, had the high no-show rate for appointments. So that spawned an email to her uh, via the workflow engine within Dynamics that says, "Hey Annie, we know that you missed a few appointments. Give us a call. We'll straighten everything out, get you a new appointment." So Annie will then call in. So I'm going to simulate a phone call here. And one thing to mention is that Unified Service Desk does integrate with a plethora of telephony systems, so as well as Skype for Business. So when a call comes in, we can have this call pop where Annie's record will automatically appear. And the first thing you'll likely notice is that we get this pop-up here that is asking for an upgrade. So this is really to illustrate that throughout the process of addressing an issue for a patient, we can give these nice little pop-ups. So for instance, if you want to have your call center agents upsell something or make sure that they mention something in addressing this call, we can give these nice pop-ups here. So I'll click no on that. And as you can see here, we have the same Health 360 record that you were able to see within the browser-based version. I can still see these emoticons. I also have my patient insights dashboard, which is leveraging Power BI. We have our patient timeline here, which you can also see very similar to what was shown within the browser-based version. So needless to say, everything that you see within the browser-based version can be configured to fit the call center experience as well. So I can also see her timeline here. So and kind of showing some more of this, we have over here to the left some general information about Annie, so I can see her email, phone number, and also a call script. So as soon as Annie calls in, I may want to go ahead and address the call script where it says, "Hello, Annie Wilson. Thank you for contacting Cone Health, your network for exceptional health. My name is William. How can I help you today?" And this is completely configurable. So as you can see here, we have some call tree structure for this call script that based on what I select here, it will send me to a different call script or down a different route to address her issue. And this is all again completely configurable, so I've added in new or existing appointment, new or billing question, other, which will send us down various routes, but all of this again is configurable. And over here to the left I can see some specifics about past cases that Annie has had, as well as any notes that Annie has on her record. So in this case, Annie's called in. She said, "Sorry, I've missed a few appointments, but I want to go ahead and schedule a new one with Dr. Abram." So what we'll do is we'll click on this new appointment. Notice that now we're met with a different call script. So now it says, "I can certainly help you create a new appointment, Annie. First, let's verify your information." So I can, verify date of birth, which I can see here. Are you still located at 123 Elm Street, which I would be able to see on her record, but can also be pulled into the call script, which is really nice. So I don't have to scroll on this. I can rest assured that everything from her record can be pulled into this script. So now as we look down here at the instructions, the first step may be to verify some customer information within Epic. So this is really to illustrate how we can pop open to a different system. So this is a illustration of a customer information system that where we may want to go over to gather additional info. So if this is Epic or MedHawk or any type of scheduler, as you can see, it's allowed me to browse over there directly within the context of addressing Annie's original issue. So extremely powerful functionality there. So now that I've verified her information, we'll go ahead and say, okay, now let's create this appointment. It will launch a new appointment record, and also you can see over here to the left that it's now giving me some next steps that I must address in order to fulfill this appointment. So here you can see on this record that we have our business process flow, and based on the fact that I chose the new appointment or create appointment, this is going to dictate what type of flow we have for this particular case. But if I selected new or existing billing question, we could configure this business process flow to adhere to whatever type of case it is I'm addressing. So highly configurable business process flow, which can ensure that certain steps are being taken in addressing whatever type of issue the patient is calling in for. So here I'll just enter it's a test appointment. Um, the origin would be phone, and all of this information can be defaulted. We can select a subject, which this can drive some metrics that we have. We'll go ahead and select a facility, and this could also be defaulted based on Annie's record that says, hey, this is her closest facility, and just ensuring that she's getting the closest proximity facility to her. So now that I've entered my information, just a few things we want to show. Here you can also see those patient details. So I don't have to bounce back and forth between this record and Annie's record to verify home information or home phone number or any of that. All of this is directly here within the context of creating this appointment. So extremely easy to get around and very intuitive, as you can see. So let's go ahead and save this. And now we'll progress to the next stage where we'll go ahead and gather some more specifics. So I'll say create here. And now we'll refer over here to our call script. So number one, what is the purpose of your visit? Move that out the way. So let's just say this is a normal checkup. So we'll just come here and enter that checkup. And you can see the information like the insurance provider can be defaulted based on Annie's record. We'll select the patient we're creating this for. Do we have a preferred nurse? We'll get to that portion here in just a second. So let's go ahead and save that. And now we'll go about actually leveraging the field service schedule board in order to schedule this particular visit. So let's go up here and actually click on this what's known as the hamburger menu here, and we'll navigate to our schedule board. So let's go here, click schedule board. And now let's change our view a bit so that we can see this in a more concise view, and this could also be defaulted. So now you can see I have my list of doctors here, and I also have their availability directly here, as you can see on the side. So here, if I hover over Dr. Abrams' record, I can see a few specifics. I could contact him directly from this schedule board via email or phone, and then I can see specific skills. So I can see he's most highly skilled at cardiology, diabetes care, physicals, and also as we scroll over here to the left, I could also filter which doctors are coming back. So for instance, in Annie's case, it might be that she needs a cardiologist. So I could just type in cardiology here and then filter this down and as say proficient, good, maybe based on other patient ratings that have come in, we'd be able to gather that information. So now Annie, we ask what time is your earliest availability. She might say 11:30 is or 11 o'clock is perfect. So I'll click here on book, and just that easily I've been able to book this appointment. And one thing to mention is that this can be an overlay for a separate scheduling system that the customer may have. So for instance, if they do their scheduling in Epic, we can still leverage this field service schedule board and have it integrate very easily into Epic. It's a very simple call. So in demoing this, we ensure that we mention the fact that yes, this is really just to give a very nice and concise way of actually going through the appointment creation process as opposed to bouncing from screen to screen. So now that we've created our appointment, we'll progress this to the next stage where I can send my appointment confirmation. Click send, and that will trigger a workflow that will send out a schedule confirmation. Now I can click finish here, and now we've concluded our appointment creation. Now, as you can see over here to the left, there might be some other specifics. For instance, if we need to provide transportation to Annie, in this case, we'll say that she doesn't need it. So then we'll send her a survey email by simply clicking here, update my notes, resolve this case, and then we'll close our session. So within a span of minutes, I've gone through and created an entire end-to-end process that has not only created an appointment for Annie, but ensured that she's received great customer satisfaction. Now, if I transition to Annie's email, which we'll simulate here, you can see that based on the fact that I've clicked that send email, it will actually send Annie this kind of automated email that has the survey link directly here. So we sincerely thank you for your business. Cone Customer Service wants to ensure you received world-class service and fill out this brief survey. So I'll click here. And one thing to notice or to take note of is the fact that we've created this survey directly within Dynamics. So Dynamics does encompass voice of the customer, which allows for users to create and disseminate surveys directly from the platform. So I can enter this information, say I was delighted with my service, and give, obviously we'll get all excellence to Mr. Gates, and go ahead and click submit. And now we've received that feedback. So extremely powerful functionality directly embedded within Dynamics. And you might ask, what happens to those surveys when they come back? We have the ability to gain insights into how our customer service agents are performing, which you can see here. So on William Gates' user record, we're able to gather some insights based on, maybe his average agent customer care score, agent recommendation, and then we can see this based on territory as well. So we can drive some great metrics here to track how our customer service agents are performing in the field. Also here, one thing to note is relationship assistant, which is a function of Dynamics, allows us to see how our agent is performing next to his or her peers. So I can see that William's performing better than 8 other agents. And also a function of Azure allows us to take an amalgamation of this data to derive a customer care grade, which in this case is a B+. And then this can drive next best steps as well. So for instance, as you can see here, based on this customer care score, we could ensure that William Gates performs a certain type of training. And also, one thing I've seen a partner organization do, which I think is extremely innovative, is store training materials and videos within Dynamics to allow for training to be done within the platform, so that can then go back into Azure and say, okay, check the box on that. He's performed this training. Now let's ensure he performs his other training. So also here I can see cases associated to him, any teams or queues that he is a part of, or I could add him, as well as those survey responses. I can see all of those responses here and dive into them to see whether or not William Gates is performing top tier customer service. So this is a brief, just kind of a brief overview to show some of the functionality. We'll be creating a few more of these videos based on workload, and really just want to show the power of Dynamics and the things that are possible through this powerful platform. And by all means, if you think there's things that can be done better, we love to have some constructive criticism, as well as any questions you have about specific workloads and whether or not they can be done in Dynamics. Please feel free to reach out to myself or anyone else on the healthcare TSP team. And my email is very simple, edwilson@microsoft.com. Thanks for your time, and look forward to speaking with you in the very near future.